Well, hello, welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins. A few weeks ago, I reviewed an Anker power station. It was a 767. It's back here behind this one, and I was pretty impressed by it. It was well built, very good quality. It had some neat features on it. It had an RV input, which was kind of nice, and it took just about anything I could throw at it when it came to running off of the AC inverter. So I was pretty impressed with it. It's probably one of the best power stations that I ever reviewed. Well, Anker reached out to me again, and this is basically a step down in their model, and they're having a deal going on right now. April is like Earth Month, so they're having a lot of specials going on, especially when it comes to solar panels and the power station, doing a little combo with that. So they reached out to me, asked if I would want to check out their 757, but it's a 757 Powerhouse made by Anker, and it stores 1,229 watt hours of power inside. It's got 6 AC outlets, 3 3-pronged and 2 2-pronged, capable of delivering 1,500 watts of a pure sine wave. So that's nice because that'll take care of most of your appliances at home. So it's very good quality, very well built. Comes in a little over 43 pounds, just shy of 44 pounds. It has 2 nice handles on the side here for carrying it around. If we start over here on your left, this is just a power saving mode switch, and basically when you turn the power saving mode on, when this doesn't sense anything, any power demand from any type of devices, after a certain period of time, it's going to shut itself off. If you turn that off, let's say you have like a compressor fridge, something like that, that is going to cycle off and on, and you want to make sure that this stays on continuously, then you would just turn that off. Over here is your DC car outlet, cigarette lighter type adapter. And then your USB ports, you have 2 USB-C ports, a 60 watt and 100 watt, and then you have 4 USB-A ports. Over here you have your 2-prong outlets, 3 of those AC, and then 3-prong, 3 of those AC. And those, as I said, are rated at 1,500 watts. It delivers a pure sine wave. And when I put it on my multi-tester meter, I was getting around 111 volts. Now basically the sides of this unit are just all ventilation. The fans are very quiet when they are running. Towards the back, you have your input port. So you have your DC input. This would be for your solar panels or coming off of the vehicle. On the solar side, you're capable of inputting 300 watts. And this is basically tailor-made for Anker's own solar panels. It'll come with an XD60 cable that will have a 3-to-1 basically. So you'll plug into here, and then it will have 3 other outlets that you can connect to, and 3 sets of solar panels of 100 watts each that Anker sells. And I'm going to do a little test on their solar panels in a little bit. Next up is the reset switch, and then you have your AC charging. So if you're charging off of solar, you can get 300 watts maximum. If you're going to be charging off your vehicle in the same port, you can get 120 watts maximum. And then if you're going to be charging off of the AC cord, you're going to get around 1,000 watts maximum input. So you should be able to recharge this in a little over an hour, about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes from 0. So the display is nice and bright, very informative. It will tell you your input and your output wattages. It will also give you a warning about high temperature or low temperature. Now I did some testing on the AC outlets. The first test I did was on my professional DeWalt circular saw. And then I tried it out on a pancake compressor. And then lastly, a chop saw. So it is going to run most of your appliances. As I said, this goes up to 1,500 watts. So this is going to be capable of running most of your household appliances and a lot of your power tools. On top here is an area light, which has a low, medium, and a high. And if you press and hold this, it's going to give you your SOS feature. Like the 767, this is very well built. It's very solid. The case is very solid. This comes with a 5-year warranty, just like the 767. And on the back, it has the same little placard with the phone numbers on there. So if you need to contact somebody, it has their business hours, and you can talk to a live person. So I had mentioned that previously when I reviewed the 767, that is unusual to find in a power station, to be able to talk to a live service representative. And that is definitely one good thing that Anker is doing above a lot of the other manufacturers out there. Now, I mentioned charging on the AC side. You could charge this in about 90 minutes. When you're charging on the solar side, if you're able to get 300 watts into this, if you're going to purchase Ankers panels, they're 100 watts each, so you'd have to purchase a set of 3. And that would give you 300 watts to throw into here. And that would take about 4 to 5 hours of decent sun to fully charge this from zero just off of solar. Now, it appears that the 757 does not have an app like the large power station behind me, so there's no pairing or anything like that with it. Inside, the battery cell technology is lithium iron phosphate batteries, so those are good for up and over 3,000 cycles. After 3,000 cycles, this is still rated at 80% capacity. Also, with the construction of this, it's easy to carry with these handles on the side. Everything is flat, so it's great for when you're packing it into a vehicle or stacking it for storage, that the handles itself do not take up a lot of room like some of the other power stations or make it hard to put anything on top of it. Okay, so I'm going to try to make a cup of coffee here. The water is pumped in and I can hear the heater on. Right now we're pulling about 1200 watts. And this Keurig basically is the same as a larger Keurig. It uses the same amount of wattage. It's just a little bit smaller for us because we use it on the RV. We also have one down in our Southern Ohio cabin. Now, as the water's heating up, you can hear the fans just clicked on here a little bit because of the high draw. But this means that you can make that cup of coffee when you're out camping, or if you got a small RV, overlanding somewhere. Also, if you have a hot plate, a waffle maker, blender, just about any kitchen appliance, you should have no problem running off of this power station. And here it comes. So Anker has a lot of different power stations out there in multiple sizes, wattages, and capacities. As I said, the biggest one back here is the 767, and then this would be a step down, and then you can go lower than that. But this is a good range right now if you want to get into powering some very high wattage appliances. Not a lot of space, still a decent amount of capacity to take care of a lot of your needs. Okay. Very good. So after brewing 1 cup, we're down to 99% on the batteries. So if you want to take it as 99 cups of coffee, you can get off of 1 charge. When I test out the capacity of these, I like to at least not waste the power by hooking up to a heater and having the heat go up in the air somewhere. Usually I'll test it like charging our vehicle. So charging our EV is usually a continuous draw of around 1400 watts, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. And this came in at around 85% capacity. That uses this up pretty quick. It's less than an hour. But then if you use other methods, let's just say you have a lower wattage draw over a longer period of time, well then the capacity or the efficiency goes up to around 90%. So anything over 80% I think is good. The higher you can get, the better. 85 to 90 is nothing to sneeze at on this type of power station. And the testing I do is not totally scientific. It's just I read how many watt hours I can get out of this while charging a vehicle. Now, if you're thinking about purchasing Anker solar panels, this is the 100 watt version. This would be best to use with this 757. A set of 3 100 watt panels is what they recommend using with this, and they have all the cables and connections all set up if you're going to stick with Anker. That's probably your best bet to go. If you're going to be looking for third-party panels, you're going to really want to pay attention to the voltage and the amperage coming in to make sure that you're not going to be wasting your money. You may exceed the voltage or the amperage, and then you won't be able to get the full capacity of the 300 watts. So I took this outside. The Velcro is still a little sticky when you open it up, which is fine. The handle here is magnetic, so it comes together and stays together nice and easy. Once you open this up, it's pretty easy to set up compared to some of the older folding type suitcase solar panels out there. It has 2 compartments to hold cables, and then if you don't even have your power station, you can set this up, and the module in here still has a USB-C output and a regular USB output. So you could still use this even if you didn't have your power station with you to power a laptop, charge your phone, etc., as long as you got some sunshine out there. Now when you set this up, there's 3 built-in kickstands. There's basically one on each end, and then the center one, the kickstand, is actually made out of one of the zippered compartments that easily comes off with Velcro. The kickstands are held in with Velcro and then have a flexible strap so you can adjust the angle. In the center of this solar panel is a small little dial that will assist you in trying to get the optimal angle to capture as much power off of the sun as you can. You'll see a little dot in the center, and if you sign up those little dots and get that little dot into the round red circle, you know that you're at the most efficient angle to capture some power from the sun. These panels are fairly lightweight. It comes in under 12 pounds. It's easy to carry around, and I really like using them. When I got them all set up out here on my little pad outside of our pole barn, I hooked it up to the power station, and I was getting around 80 to 90 watts. When I used that little dial and honed in on the perfect angle of the sun, I was actually seeing over 100 watts from this panel. I was seeing 104 was the highest I was getting, hovering around 100 most of the time. So that's great, because most of the time when you purchase a solar panel, it seems like if you're lucky, you maybe get 90% out of the rated capacity. Here I was getting 100%. This is a 100 watt panel, and I was getting 100 watts out of it. Just a few more points to bring up. This does support pass-through charging, so you can be charging with your solar panels and still be using it to power other devices or charge other devices. This can also act as an uninterrupted power supply with a switchover time of 20 milliseconds. So the dimensions of this unit is 18.2 inches wide, it is 11.3 inches tall, and then 9.3 inches deep. So I know there's been like a flurry of power stations that have come in that I'm doing reviews on, but I just could not say no to Anker when they offered me to test this out, just because I had such a good experience with the 767. As I mentioned, they are having April Earth months going on where they're giving deals, especially with combos of solar panels and a power station. Check out the description below for links and any deals that are going on right now. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. I hope you enjoy and subscribe. Click on that little bell when you want to know when a new one's coming out. And keep an eye on us. Take care, everybody.